Alright, here she is alive and well. And this is my buddy's NSX that I share this storage with. I covered up the plate just because I didn't get a chance to talk to him before filming this video, but this is our roommate here. Beautiful car. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these NSXs on the channel, because I got a few buddies that all have a few of these cars, so make sure you comment below if you want to see more of that. But yeah, the MR2 is alive and well, as you just saw. Starts and runs no problem. I had it out a couple days ago already for the first time, and it fired right up, no issues. I put this tray underneath it for the winter, and no real major oil leaks. This thing does leak some oil when it sits for a little while after it's been driven, but long term, like sitting for the winter, it usually stops and there's not much drippage, so there's really not much of anything on there. And then the way it was sitting here just for the last couple of days, nothing major to worry about. Now there is a bit of a layer of dust on it that I want to get off, and the issue here is we do have power here at the storage unit, but we don't have a source of water anywhere. So I'm going to have to get creative here, but luckily Fred at Gearbox sent me over some of their new products to test out, and so I'm going to try those out on this car. I've always told people to buy concentrated products and mix them yourself instead of like having a shelf lined up with a ton of bottles for different uses. Because when you buy ready mixed products, you're basically just paying to ship water. That all comes from a concentrate, and they're mostly water when you mix them up. So I really like this concept. When Fred reached out to me, I thought this is a really good idea for like the hobbyist detailer. So Glovebox RX this is a whole new concept in the detailing world. And the way it works is they send you empty bottles, and then they include these cartridges, which, let me get this to focus. So you put this cartridge in the bottle after you filled it up with water, and this will release the exact amount for the full dilution of the product. So in this case, this one is the glass cleaner. So you put this in one bottle after you filled it up with water, and then when you puncture it with the straw from the sprayer, it releases into the water, you mix it up, and there's your product. But the cool thing is, you keep these bottles then, and when you run out, then you just buy the replacement cartridges instead of buying a whole new bottle of something. So it's, I guess in a way, it's better for the environment, just all around better. So I like the idea, but I don't know if it works or not. So I'm gonna test it out on the MR2 today, out here in an area where I don't have any access to do like a normal wash. So this is a good test. They also include a towel for each product as well. And the cool thing is, this isn't just any towel. They actually source towels from the Rag Company, it's my towel of choice. These are really high quality. This is not like your Costco towel. This is, in my opinion, some of the best of the best. One gripe that I do have though is that they only supply one towel per product. And that's okay, like for the glass cleaner or even the spray wax. But for the waterless wash, especially when you're dealing with kind of delicate cars like these with nice paint jobs, you don't want to do an entire car with just one towel. That's a recipe for some scratches. So I thought ahead and I brought a few extra towels with me that I'll be able to use for the waterless wash. But other than that, so far I like it. So I started off with the waterless wash first, just because that was what I was most interested in. And the thing is, I wouldn't normally use a product like a waterless wash on this car just because of the really sensitive paint on it. But in this case, the car was overall pretty clean, and it just had a really light layer of dust. So in a way, I was almost using it kind of like a detail spray. I wasn't doing any heavy cleaning with it. Now, one issue that I did run into, and it's something that I've run into with other products in this car as well, is streaking on this paint. And a big part of that could be just the single stage paint on this car. It's very finicky. I've had other spray waxes and stuff that just don't play nice with it. I'm always battling streaks for some reason with this paint job. And so I did have issues with that. I would wipe it off or apply the waterless wash first on one side of the wet towel, and then I'd flip it over to the drier side and kind of buff it. And I still was left with a lot of streaks. And so at one point, you'll see I went and grabbed a second towel as like a drying towel almost. And that still didn't really help that much. Another reason I could be getting some streaking is also because of the way that I was using this product. And in the directions on the bottle, it says that you're supposed to spray like 1 to 2 sprays per panel when you're using this as a waterless wash. And for me, I don't know, safety is a bigger issue for me. I don't want to scratch this paint. And so I tend to use a lot more product than is recommended. As you saw at the beginning of this clip, I was really putting a lot of product on the surface. And chances are that's a big reason why I was getting streaking, because I was overusing the product. And normally in most cases I would say not to do that. But with a product like a waterless wash, safety is key. And maybe that's why I'm not a big fan of waterless washes in general. I don't really use a whole lot of them, because it's just, in order to use them safely, you usually end up dealing with these types of problems. Usually streaking and overusing the product is what happens. But I will say it's nice and slick. It's very slippery. It seems like a good quality product. I didn't have any problems aside from that. It did a good job of cleaning and everything. And of course, like the other products here, they all smell really good too. So if that's something that you care about, then you'll enjoy that. I also used the waterless wash on the wheels too, because I had a lot of water spots on this car. Last time I washed it, I was in a rush, and to be honest, I did kind of a crappy job. So of course I used a different towel. You'll notice I used a scrap towel for doing the wheels. You never want to use the same one you use on your paint, but you can use this on all surfaces of your car on the exterior. So wheels, paint, doesn't matter. You can use it on everything. So here I was actually getting rid of some water spots that were left over from that last wash, and it made quick work of them, and just buffed them right off. Got a nice shine. Again, I'm using this more like a detail spray than like a heavy cleaner, but in my opinion, that's the best way to use waterless washes. If your car is really dirty, you need to either use like a rinseless wash, or realistically, you need to do a proper wash, like with buckets. So then I followed up with the spray wax, and I was hoping that this was going to kind of reactivate the previous product and get rid of some of the streaking. And this I did use a lot more sparingly. I just did 1 or 2 sprays per panel, like the directions say. And I think it did help a decent amount. It did get rid of some of the streaking. The rest of the streaking just went away with time. It just the product needed to, I guess, flash on the surface after a certain amount of time out in the wind and the sun. So the end result, I didn't really have too many streaks that were left behind completely. So no major complaints there. One thing you always want to be doing with any product, but especially with this type of product where you're mixing a concentrate with water, you got to make sure that you're shaking these up before you use them. You want to really make sure it's mixed in thoroughly. You don't want to just grab the bottle and go, because a lot of times it'll sit in the bottom of the bottle, and so you're not going to get a proper dilution of the product then. So make sure you keep shaking them up. So the spray wax worked well. I didn't have any trouble buffing it off or anything. Again, I used it very sparingly, like you're supposed to, and that makes a big difference. This is not a product that you want to just hose down all over the panel and then try to get it off, or you for sure will have problems with streaking. Now I can take in for a closer look. You can see nice deep glossy reflections. Of course, this car is polished pretty well, so the actual paint looks very shiny like this and very wet, but that's more to show that there's no real patchiness or streaking or anything left behind. It looks good. And you can see the hood looks pretty good too, actually. Most of the streaks went away. So overall, I'm happy with it. It's just, it's nothing out of the norm with this car. To be honest, I've kind of stopped using spray wax products and stuff as a whole on this, just because it's not worth it to me to be fighting streaks. Can't really fault the product here in this case. Next up, I tried the window cleaner, and I was actually pretty impressed with this. I just don't like cleaning windows at all in general, and this stuff was pretty streak free. It was I don't want to keep on mentioning streaks, but it's just a common issue with all of these things that I normally have. But no, this worked really well, and it was perfectly safe on these tinted windows as well, so I was happy. Also, check this out. I found these old stickers that my buddy had made of the car, and yeah, I just found them sitting in the door. So I'll tell you what, let's do some kind of a little contest here or something. Let's try to get the video to, I don't know, 100 likes, and I'm going to pick my top 3 favorite comments, and you send me your address, I'll send you a sticker of the car. So I tried, this is like an interior detailer. Just you can use it on your vinyls and plastics, that kind of stuff. And it worked well. Again, I was mostly just dealing with dust and stuff. I keep it pretty clean as a whole, so it was pleasant and easy to use though, no issues. Nothing bad to report on that one. Alright, well that was definitely helpful. I was able to get the car cleaned up and dusted off here with no source of water. I just brought a big water jug with me to fill up the bottles. And got the job done. The car looks good, it's dust free. So if you want to try this out, you can actually buy the starter kit. I think it's about 50 bucks, and it includes everything you saw here today, these 4 products. And then as you run out of them, then you just buy the replacement cartridges. And I think they vary in price depending on the product, but they're a lot cheaper than buying a whole new one for sure. So if you do want to try this stuff out, I'm going to hook you guys up. You can use code GEARHEAD for 20% off your first order. And this Glovebox company is pretty cool, man. They also have like a subscription service where you can sign up and they'll send you a new box of detailing products every month to try out. So if you're one of those people that really likes trying the next best thing and the latest and greatest in the detailing world, then you want to consider signing up for that. But hopefully we'll be able to find a new house soon. And until then, at least, well, we can definitely say that the MR2 has a great looking neighbor. So at least it's safe, it's dry, it's very high security out here. So anyways, thanks for watching guys, and make sure you stick around for the next video.